This was the most massive fish kill that I'm aware of. Often in a fish kill, you'll just see one or two species. This was everything.
Thick blue-green algae. All of that, when it disintegrates, it drops to the bottom. And it creates an incredible muck that our fish, our manatees, all of our life that lives in there feeds off of.
So I started collecting animal samples, and so one of my set of samples, I wanted to go to the very top of the food chain, and that was the bottlenose dolphins of the Indian River Lagoon. And that's a place that also gets large blooms of cyanobacteria. That water used to be crystal clear, and now it's very murky. You can't see more than a few inches in the water right now during the bloom. Studies have now shown us where you get lots of blooms of cyanobacteria. You'll see tangles in the brain, typical of ALS or Alzheimer's developing in these animals. And I've since talked to a couple of researchers who studied the behavior of the dolphins. They see some dolphins that appear kind of confused, sometimes getting lost, which sounds sort of like an Alzheimer's patient just sort of wandering around, getting lost.
I'm doing some laboratory studies as well as starting to collect different species from the ecosystem. Right after the big bloom, or actually kind of in the middle of the bloom, we went out to look for oysters and we didn't find any live oysters. If the oysters are bioaccumulating the cyanotoxins, then they're going to get into the food chain and potentially humans.
This is something that we cannot sustain as human beings if our water and our food chain are poisoned.
These blooms are going to become the dominant system in the lagoon. We're going to have algae bloom after algae bloom. We're going to have fish kills, and we're going to have people getting sick.
And so that ought to cause concern for all politicians because their families are just as subjected to this as all other people. And it is something that we need to know about.